So I think what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna try to do anyway, is I'm gonna try to do a 2 hour track challenge because that's the best way to get myself like a kick in the ass, just to get things moving again. I have no guarantees whether it's going to work or not, but that's not necessarily the point. It's more about just kind of hanging out and, you know, chilling out, having a good time, all that stuff. So, yeah, no plans. Just start the timer. Let's roll. Um, got a complete. Yeah, I saw that you got one. Um, it seems pretty cool. Like, part of me always feels like the complete control stuff is a little gimmicky, but I also completely understand that it's like well worth the investment if you can jump into it. So I'm just loading up the shape of my sound from fingertips. Yeah, and I think that that's really valuable, especially for like sound design stuff. I was thinking about doing something with like ethereal earth or hybrid keys, just because I haven't really used them a whole lot. I also know that they take up a ton of my RAM for some reason, but you know that's a okay. I don't want a lead. I want a pad. That's a little too abstract. The problem with the pad is that they don't have a strong attack. Hey, poetic. Oh, thank you, Fen. I need to write that down because I absolutely am going to do that. 2 trees. I will do that when I'm done here. I'll send you a receipt or something. Thank you so much for the resub. That's not what I wanted to hit. Yeah, I want to do like something good with my channel, or have people give people the opportunity to do something good with the channel points. And I figure like donating $1 or $2 every stream is something that I can do. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like I think that that's great. Let's see. Nah. Let's try something else. Ethereal Earth. Like I think I kind of have something in mind that I want to do, and maybe I'm just getting in my own head a little bit. This is what I'm talking about with like, oh, what am I gonna do? There's a reason why I put a limit on that. 4. At least I hope I put a limit on that. Ethereal Earth is great, but not that's not what I'm looking for right now. Yeah. Yeah, if I didn't put a limit on that, like I don't want to be out $20 every time I stream or something. I put it at a limit of 5, I think. But I think that it's amazing, and I want people to be, hey Trey, what's up? I want people to be like, you know, use this for fun or use this for, you know, some sense of well being and good, because I think that that's like that's really important. Is Plant a Tree at 2,000 or? Sorry, I need to check something real quick. I know I haven't done anything yet. Okay, Planet Tree is 2,000. I thought it was 1,000. Okay, so that's just 2 total. 2 trees. I had 4. Okay. Thank you, and thank you, thank you for doing that. Thank you for contributing to making the world a better place. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about making kind of a plucky pad sound, and then we'll just bounce off of that and see what happens. You're a slow fox. It's okay. I'm a slow Ben today. I like that emote. So, yeah, I hope everybody's been doing well. That's what I'm looking for. Helps if I hit the right note, but, you know, that's okay. Okay. I've kind of fallen in love with the 4-bit sine that Operator has. 29th of March, first time I ever tried making house music. I'm so happy to read this alt. Nice. That's super cool. And happy, very early birthday. Christine's birthday is the 20th of March, 2/22. No, it's the 22nd. What am I talking about? 3/22. Oh no, I updated Affinity Photo too, and I didn't mess with it yet, but that's concerning. I hope Affinity doesn't go the route of Photoshop and just turn terrible slowly over time. Oh. Yeah, I don't use a pen, unfortunately. I would like to get more into that, but... Hey, Ollie. Also, Fen. That'll be 5 minutes in the hole. I'm going to try to not use... And I've been kind of using Splice as a crutch lately when it comes to drums. I'm going to try to not use Splice today. For drums anyway, just because it's so easy for me to fall back on the idea. It's like, oh well, just pull some crappy thing out of Splice and use that. So I want to build my own, even if it's still an 808 kit, which it most certainly will be, at least initially. I want to not use Splice as much of a crutch as I have been. I just like, yeah, it's been a thing. Scratch is easy. This popped up. Yeah, yeah, man. I'm really excited. Like I love streaming. I just have not had the I haven't had the time for it lately, and that's too bad. Because like I've been trying to read more, and I've been trying to
remember to save.
I've been trying to remember to save, everybody. And okay. Let's make this pattern. Okay, that should be good. I've been trying to read more, and it's been giving me a nice kick in the ass for. Oh, thank you, Em. I mean, I really love streaming, and I don't want it to go away. But the things I've been reading have all been about like creativity and focus and like trying to keep things moving forward. Hey, thank you so much. Oh, I've got the sweetest children. Thank you so much for that, Em. You'll get an extra cookie tonight at dinner. Sharing is Wonderful. Actually, no, let's just use this. I'm the cool dad. Everybody gets cookies for dinner. Thank you so much for that gifted subscription. I really appreciate that. Hey, Jank, what's up? I feel like this needs another chord here. I'm kind of playing a little fast and loose with how this is structured. I'm not really sure where I'm going yet. But, you know, that's part of the fun, I guess. Till the next 2 HAC, yeah. Hammered out a commission. Oh man, I'm jealous. I have this commission that I'm working on that's like kicking my ass, and I'm hoping to get it done over the next couple days. That's a mistake, but I actually like it. Also, I changed my poster. You can't really see it, unfortunately. I brought it back to the Happy Little Accidents one because that's been my mood lately. Yeah. It's rhythmic. It's a little off rhythmically. But like I'm feeling something like not necessarily baths, but some kind of like really kind
Hello everybody, Soapy here.
boy.
Reminding you to wash your boy.
Soapy still exists, everybody. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Soapy. Even more importantly, wash your damn hands. Apparently that's a thing. But yeah, like getting some kind of broken rhythm and just kind of hanging out and doing that. So my goal here is to make something feel a little disjointed, I think. And I think we're succeeding in that, which makes me happy. Man, that caffeine really kicked in fast, didn't it? Don't forget to drink the sweet hand gel. Yeah, you gotta sanitize your insides too. Like, you never know when somebody's gonna. I don't really know where that bit's going, but it kind of ends up gross. However you go there. Oh yeah, there you go, Em. I like that. Yeah, like, oh man, I made chili on Sunday, and I've been trying to make my own chili paste lately, which basically just involves getting dried chilies and heating them up in a pan and then pouring a bunch of chicken stock on them and then like blending them together so you get chili paste, and it's great. But I used some chilies that were exceptionally hot, and this batch of chili in particular is a little brutal, which is good. Like, I like it, but it's a little bit spicier than I am generally okay with. So yeah, And I was being really dumb, and I was like, oh, I don't know if these chilies are spicy when I was heating them up initially, just the dried version of the chili. So I like peeled off a little piece of the skin and I just ate it like raw. Whew. That was an experience. Okay, this is basically our sub bass. I don't really intend for this to be super loud, but it has to be louder than that. To read a spicy take. Yeah. I have a little bit of vibrato on this just because it's a little funky, and I'm into having a song feel a little funky today. Having creative side projects and such. Oh yeah, I don't know where we're at with the podcast with Shaka. Like we've recorded 5 or 6 episodes, and I think they're all coming out now. We recorded a bunch in like December, and we've been sick, and all this stuff has been going on. Oh, thank you, Trey. Yeah, I'm really proud of Felt Cute. Like that's one of my favorite albums in a long time. Oh yeah, there's a pedal on here, isn't there? Okay, so this is being a little bit more of a butt than I wanted it to be. I don't really think we need vibrato on this. We just need it to be... We just needed to have that chunky bass, I think. Yeah, the cover for Felt Cute is really adorable. Like, I had a lot of fun working with the artist on that, which I think I've mentioned on Twitter before. Let's give it that bottom. Yep. We've already got the top, but the top needs a bottom. That was mostly for Fen, I think. Fen and M. Feminem. How has that never come up before? That's hilarious. That's like genuinely really funny. There we go. You're not comfortable with 100%. That's okay. We're just having fun here. Don't want anybody to become uncomfortable. So, yeah, I think my plan for this is to just make like a small jam. And if things go from there, that's great. This also needs to be in like an octave up. Let's try this. Nope. And you can't have it at 3 because of the swing. That's true. That makes sense. We don't want to make any kind of assumptions. That's okay. There we go. Okay, as far as this, I like this chord being kind of staggered out, but let's shove it over a little bit more. I think that'll help. UK plus? Is that kind of like backup stuff? UK plus, is that like Disney Plus for, is it like a subscription model? I don't know where I'm going with that. Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. Global vegetable crisis. That sounds pretty fun. Where are we going with this song? I'm running into volume issues as well. Like, all this is a little too loud. Yeah, well, I hope you do visit the U.S. I can't say that Minnesota is terribly exciting, but if you do swing around this direction, you could have BenCon. Which is stupid. I regret saying that. Yeah, okay, so we can go. I've been thinking about the brushed drums pack a lot again lately. I reached out to Mark Powers to maybe like work on another pack at some point. He's like super on board for it, but we just don't know. Just don't necessarily know what we're gonna do. So mallet drums. Yeah. He has some pretty unique percussive stuff. And we were talking about like maybe him putting rice or like other objects on his drums and him banging around on that. He has some more unique drums, which I think would sound really cool. So it's like I don't know. We have options. It's just kind of rice and a snare drum. Yeah, like that's kind of one thing that we were thinking of, is just kind of doing some stuff like that and seeing what happens. So it's kind of a boring pattern. It's also kind of a boring sample for this.
Remember to save.
Hey, everybody. Remember to save. I'm just kind of trying to find... And I think this will work better if we can take this and just kind of shoosh it down. Pocket Planes was a really awesome game. Pocket Planes. Oh, are you like relating to my my little avatar thing? That was made like completely coincidentally to that game. Like I must have been searching for inspiration online, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a neat kind of design, and I just kind of made something by that, and I didn't know that was like a big mobile game. So it's like I kind of made it based off their design, but not really. It's kind of weird. Brushed wood. What does this song make me think of? Thank you. Thank you, Vita. I do too. Like I'm just kind of I'm getting my feet wet again. I haven't made music in a while. Actually, I don't think Raum is the best option for this one. I think just a regular reverb will do just fine. I just need a little bit more sparkle on the high end. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about too. Yeah. Yeah, and I think my Windows Explorer just restarted. That's cool. I think something like it was like Burial. Yeah, yeah. I was trying to think of the name of like some of the artists that this reminds me of, where it's just kind of like this really, really like not distilled but concentrated version of music, where it's just like everything you need and nothing you don't to make it like what feels like a song. And that's kind of where I'm going with this. Like minimalism is something that I really wanted to get more into lately. Not necessarily because it's easy, but because it's difficult to make something feel like a song when you only have like 4 elements. So let's like embrace that a little bit more. We can go easier to stay on focus as well. Yeah. Like I can definitely get some rain. I have a rain that I think might work well. I recorded rain where I was holding an umbrella and then holding a mic like under the umbrella, so all you get is the tick 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 sound, and that was a lot of fun. So let's see if that's what this is. Oh wait, this is the car roof and then the umbrella. So the car roof is the first part, and then this. Yeah. Now we've got lofibeats.com going in the background with this sidechain from the drums. Yeah, I was kind of thinking like not even a pad with chords, but just like one sustained note. That was definitely something that I was thinking about. But if we go like this, yeah, this is like super ASMR rain. I love this stuff. I'm going to leave that okay in there because I don't care. You're a cry fox. Oh. Yeah, old pictures like that is can be tough. I didn't play Pocket Planes. I didn't. I should though. Like it still exists, doesn't it? I'm just kind of boosting this stuff up a little bit. I think it's the Raum. Maybe it's the feedback. It has like this weird noise to it. I'm not really sure where that's coming from. Oh, yeah. Like, I can't imagine how rough that is. Sorry. Well, that's why I try to be everybody's surrogate dad. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think you mentioned what was going on at the time. Like, I honestly don't know. I'm not that I'm glad that you didn't, but I'm glad that I was able to talk to you and like go through this with being agnostic toward like what the emergency actually was, because I'm sure my response would have been different. So I'm really like I'm glad I was able to help you through that. I'm sorry I didn't. I think you're doing better now, but wow. Yeah, let's get a massive thing in here just for like a... Also... Yeah. We all about love in this room. In this room. In this room. Yeah. Like... It's so tough. Like being immortal. Just to really go off the deep end for this one, but it's just like there's so many things and there's only a limited time to do it. It's tough. Like for this, I'm thinking that since this is the I think that's really all I want to do with that, except that needs to be there. So what I'm intending on doing with this is having it grow slowly and then also grow into a little bit of a vibrato. We'll see if I did my job right. I can change this around later. Oh, too much. Just sounds like mosquitoes in your coffee. Why does that sound so bad? Maybe I pushed the depth a little bit too far on that. It's mosquito time. Yeah. That's hilarious. I think it might just there's a couple contributing factors to this. So let's go and try to even those out a little bit. See, much better already. Yeah, exactly. We only need it once as well. Whoops. Thank you, Madam Berry. Yeah, I love Massive. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so this needs a longer release as well. I can up the reverb as well. I might actually throw a bit of a chorus on there too. Technically, yeah, Yeah, I really do too. I have Massive X and I've used it a bit, but I'm just not as familiar with it, so I don't jam out with Massive X as much as I probably should. I don't think bit crushing is the way to go with this, but it might give it a nice little extra sparkle after the low pass. Okay, we good. Oh yeah, we were going to sidechain that too. That was a good suggestion on your part. There we go. A little too much there. We can get a snare in here as well. I'm just kind of throwing stuff at the wall. But the thing that I have to worry about is I don't want to overburden what I have going on here. Like that's yeah, I'm using like a brushed drum snare, so it's kind of just it's gonna be real chill. Along with oh no, like the whole point of this stream is like to have a good conversation and to like make a music together, make a song together. Like the only time that like backseating gets annoying is if somebody comes in and is like, you do this, you do this, you do this. But if you phrase them as suggestions, if you phrase them as, yes, one music, please. If you phrase them as like suggestions and you talk as if this is like a collaborative thing, which all in all, it really is. Then, you know, we good. But if you come in here expecting to like, and backseating is when you want to take the driver's seat, but you can't, when you're just like, you need to do this or else it's a bad song. That's when I have, you need to add more a.og. Well, Madam Berry, you're a special, you're a special. I'm glad you're here. And the fact that you don't know anything about music is sometimes like even better, because that allows like some creative things to happen, even if it's not necessarily on purpose. Yeah, exactly, Vita. Like that's the whole point. The whole point is just to sit down and have a good time. Like I have no intentions on like I really don't like I don't like telling people like their ideas are bad. And I do my best to actually like implement everybody's ideas in here if I feel like it betters the song. And I just want to keep those positive vibes going, you know.
Remember to save.
Hey everybody. Have you remembered to save lately? Sorry, we'll do this the right way. Hello, everybody. Have you remembered to save lately? I hope you have. I really could use like some spoken word in here. Hey, Vita Spin, thank you so much for that. Welcome to the studio. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Oh, it's so touchy. My left pinky needs to chill the hell out, I guess. Yeah, I appreciate the follow. Where is the ah.ogg? Because I will 100% put it in here. Nah, that's not it. I'll find it in the song. It was from Marathon Man in 2019. Samples imported ah.mp3. Excellent. I don't know how I'm going to use this, but I'm going to use it. I don't really think I can tune this very well. There. It's about as in tune as that's going to get. Yeah, vocoding it is probably the way to go for that. Yeah, let's try that. So what we need to do in that case is I'm going to... Oh, man, how am I going to do that? Low pitch, yeah. And that's what I used that... I used it pitched down in a song called Marathon Man. In a prior 2-hour track challenge. Yeah, there it is. It's pitched down in this. That was a fun song. I'll throw that in chat just in case you want to hear the whole thing. But yeah, like vocoded would be interesting. I'm just trying to figure out how I would do that. Of grain synth. Yeah, I was thinking about
Hello,
granularization.
Soapy's here. And wanted you to
Soapy.
wash your boy.
Soapy, shut up, I'm talking. Yeah, I do have granulizer. Just put in gran. Put your grandma in a synth with granulizer. Soap is back for revenge. That's just kind of terrifying. You know what? We can actually make that work. Because that feels like it's mostly in tune, but it might not be in tune with... Thanks, Madam Berry. Yeah, that actually is really interesting. Let me do some work on this. So first thing, we need to make sure this is in proper tune. What did we do? +5 before? I know we're not wasting. We're investing a bit of time on this. Granular synths are super fun. I'm going to call them grandma synths from now on. Hey, Sha, what's up? That's it, pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten that out. And then if I throw this in there, will it still throw an error at me? It will not. Okay. That's pretty fun. I don't know if this is going to work, but So if we have this and we go like this, and let's just throw out a room in there for good measure, just to give it a little bit more space. It has a lot of settings that I'm not going to really futz with right now, simply because Ben's got things to do. I don't know if that works. I mean, alternatively, you just go like this. Go like way back here. Yeah, I haven't sang in a while. I'm still bad. I need to stop being so harsh on myself when it comes to my singing, because that's not nice more than anything else. But I think I do have like a pitch correction thing somewhere. At least I used to. I don't know if I do anymore. Complete. That's not a complete. Is it soft tube? No. Valhalla, definitely not. G snap. There we go. Okay. Let's do that again, except do it correctly, and we should be good. I want it to be like really far away like this though, which is why I have it this far. Okay. Yep. Whoa, jeez. Let's not drop my very nice microphone. Yeah, I don't know. Ugh, no. To be honest, I don't really I don't like doing it either. But I also know that it's good to do things. I also feel like I might be. Let's not do that for now. I also feel like I might just be overburdening this mix again, and that's what I'm talking about. It's just like, keep it simple, stupid. Most unique samples. I could get some unique samples. Let's just do this. Sometimes this is a good way to get inspiration. Random. Oh yeah, the most flexible and the most diverse instrument that you will ever have is your voice. Boom. That's pretty cool. Hi-hat. I don't know. We're kind of in the experimental stage right here, I guess. I'm not a fan of the voice though. Let's just cut this out. Let's try to keep it simple. Let's like actually make a song first. But you want to add more. Exactly. I'm getting wrapped up. Given that there's more structure to this now, I almost feel like we need to kind of rein it in. Okay, so there's two things we need. Actually, I think there's one thing that we need that will tie the proverbial room together, and that is some creative direction when it comes to what this song's about. And we touched on that a little bit earlier, thinking about like rain and yeah, mostly just rain, which I'm okay with. Like, because there's a lot of ways we can go. Oh yeah, that's where my melodica is. I was like, where did I put this thing? I mean, to be honest, if this was a lo-fi hip-hop track, this is all we need. But I like my songs to have at least a little bit more juice to them. I like the juice. No, it's chill hop. It's not lo-fi. I mean, you can do that. It's just kind of giving everything an echo now. That's pretty funny. Okay. So what I want to do, I think, is, oh yeah, absolutely, Gorillaz and a lot of the other stuff from like the early 2000s. Melodica was like super big for a while, and then it's kind of fallen by the wayside a little bit. So what I'm thinking
Remember to save.
what I'm thinking of first is everybody should remember to save, because if you don't save, you might lose your progress. If you lose your progress, you'll be sad. And I, personally, don't want you to be sad. So save your damn work. So yeah, let's just stretch this out to 2.5 minutes or so, and then be like, boop, fade out. So what we'll do here is we'll do a melodica solo. Just kind of bring everything together. You have a sad story about this? I don't know. And that's the thing. Like this song could go a lot of different ways, which is why I like figuring out what the song is about. Like the underlying story of the song, even if that's not necessarily expressed inside the song itself, it's nice to have kind of a story to base the feeling. Oh, a sad story about not saving. Yes, I have plenty of those. All right. kind of messed up a little bit there. I mean, this song definitely could benefit from like spoken word or something like that too, which is, I'm not against adding. I just need to figure out what I want to. Yeah, so I got to fix these a little bit. Yeah, that's where I was off. This needs to be. Oop, come on. Work with me. There we go. Just close your eyes. You know, that's maybe, but that kind of starts to feel like I'm totally on board with like doing guided meditation music. It's something that I've wanted to do for a while, but I don't really know if that's really, I don't know if that fits the vibe that I'm thinking of for this. Like, I definitely have the idea of like sitting with a coffee or a tea or something and watching the rain. It's just like even like a name for the song. Man, I was really off with some of these timings. I was thinking like Cloudwatching or something, which seems to fit the idea pretty well. I think I like a long time ago I named a sound Cloudwatching and I never did anything with it. Was it from Greenscape? Yeah, it was. I can't remember what this song was. I think it was like guitar stuff. It's real old. Real basic, but it's pretty. Hold My Beef. 2014. Yeah, I wrote that a while ago. Hold My Beef. Is Cloudwatching a good name for this? I think so. Like, it's just trying to convey the idea that I'm thinking of, where it's just like sitting and chilling out and watching. No, we don't. We're working on that right now, Em. Beefy jazz. Okay. So I wanted to add the clave or the clav, the clave. I think that's how you pronounce it. Just in one little spot. Downpour. Downpour is a pretty good name too. percussion kicks in for like some hard like dubstep. I can't beatbox. I don't know why I tried. Blast beats. GABA. Let's see. So we're at 80. This needs to be at 160. I'm sure this will be fine. Why did that slow down so much? Oh, this is supposed to be cancel. This is 170 BPM. Why is that so distorted? There we go. I mean, to be honest, it does kind of work. But that's not exactly what I'm... Would you stop at Ableton? Yeah, I know. I was fixing it. I mean, it's not awful. Oh man. Hey Florian, what's up? Yeah, it's not exactly the vibe I'm going for, but that's pretty funny. Initially I was going for a different multi-pack. I got this pack that I use once in a while very randomly called Share the Wubs. Hey Florian, thank you so much for the follow. This was more what I was trying to do. So this is at 140, which does not fit at all. I'm just fucking around now. I should really get back to work. There we go. The swing fits. The hats are obnoxious. Oh, I didn't give you a piano solo, Florian. Thank you so much for that follow. Welcome to the studio. I really appreciate it. It does change the mood of that quite a bit. Why doesn't it let me switch over? I appreciate the follow. I don't think I'm going to leave that in, although that is pretty funny. We just use some like obnoxious phrases. This is in D minor, so we have to bring it down. There we go. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, man. Glitchy percussion loops? Yeah, I have some. Thanks, I wonder what I have in my my sample crate.
How then to become a successful...
Oh, it's 3 minutes long. I don't want to do that.
If you want ideas, turn your mind into a great big compost heap of other ideas and experiences and wait for the weeds to grow.
That's a really good one. That's from Zero Punctuation. That guy. What is this, please, again? Oh, what is this, please? Nah, I don't think that works here. Dawn of the Dead.
If you had a gun, shoot him in the head. That's a sure way to kill him. If you don't, get yourself a club or a torch. Beat him or burn him. They go up pretty easy.
Yeah, Yahtzee, thank you. I thought I added some new ones lately, but I guess not. Oh, that's the vocoded cat. I think you sent that one to me. Famous amps. No, I don't want to do like mutant ants. And honestly, like this section, okay, I'm getting up my own butt again. This section's fine. I can look through some of the stuff you gave me. Maybe that'll be some good inspiration. Let's like, I'm like getting distracted, which is fine, but I need to figure out the rest of this song because I do have a timer going. I have 52 minutes left, and I know I've spent the last 20 minutes just record myself saying stuff. Yeah, and I mean that's obviously another way of going about this. That's not a bad idea. STXX, there we go. Oh yeah, there's so many folders in this. Database. Man, there's so much stuff in here, Em. I don't know if I'll ever get to all of it. Yeah. There's so much stuff, though. Horse. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Remember to save.
Remember to save, everybody. You gotta save. Yeah, there's so much in here. Yeah, it's possible that I can just do... I think what I need to do is I need to switch this up a little bit. So... Bum, bum, bum. So let's switch up the chords a little bit, which would be a 3. This is 3, 4, 1. There we go. This needs to go away. Yeah, okay. So I think this will help. Oh, that's not right, is it? Yeah. And then we can go 5. Yeah. And then ba 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 ba. Yeah, okay. This should work. I like doing theoretical stuff like this, where it's like it's kind of like I try to push everything out there and then see if it worked. kind of has a Tycho vibe now. I need to change this rhythm to... Da, da, da. Yeah, okay. Dum, bum. Bum, bum. Nice. Nice. Actually, I should just go like this. That's the smart money. That way I'm not messing with... Should I just go get that key and peel? Nice. My Explorer died again. I gotta find...
The guy that says, you stand up yourself and your place in this damn circle. No noise. This is my thing.
Nah, I don't know if I'm gonna do that. Feels like that's a good way to get like... I mean, I could always just do it myself, but that's also dumb. I've been really distracted this time around. Nice, yeah. It's really pleasant, though. Like, it's not complicated, but it's really pleasant to listen to. Yeah, okay. I think I have kind of an idea on the structure of how I want the second part to go. I do want it to be a little bit more upbeat, which is fine. Loop, please. Thank you. So, not necessarily like the dubstep upbeat, but let's get rid of some of this stuff. So we need a snare that's not as muted. So we can go back to our drum kits. It's installing. Nice. Let's see. So this tap is more muted. I think I actually want a snare. So I'm going to go to my Salamander kit and pull in a snare from here. I got to fix these up a little bit. And then fade that out. Because the tail's too long for what I want. If I'm going to add a tail, I'm going to add a reverb. so I can manage that myself. Yeah, that snare is kind of boring right now. That's okay. Actually, let me just take that and put it there. So it's the right direction. It's not exactly what I want, but we can get there. I just want to compress that down a little bit, but I don't want to blow out the sound. And then put a touch of reverb on there, and that should help. There we go. Pre-delay. Let's see. That's 188 milliseconds. The other thing we could do is bum, 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 bum. Okay, obviously that doesn't work because there's a pedal going on and off for that. But if I toss a piano in there, we should be able to kind of jam out with something for a little bit. And I mean, that's kind of the whole point of this right now, is to just find some things to jam on. We still haven't saved the song. It's been like an hour and 45 or an hour and 15 minutes. Yeah, exactly. I think we're going to call this one Cloudwatching. Ableton 2020. 0304. Cloudwatching. I love that I have that remember to save thing, and like I'm like so busy reminding people to remember to save and stuff, and it's like I haven't saved this project yet. Good job, Ben. Yeah, so we can actually take these and maybe just kind of get a general what I do at work. Yeah, well, I don't know. It's easier for me to go that route. I don't think a lot of people agree with me, but it works well on my area of things. So you have that reminder for a reason. I remind other people to save. I'm too good to save. The hubris. have to turn the delay off. That's the wrong note too. We got something going there. The delay is a little obnoxious. Like, I like having these long delays, but oh, if it sounded right to you, let's listen to it again. Yeah, that does not sound right though. I'll get this out of there. Okay, this needs to get delayed. Which means this needs to get delayed. Which means this needs to get delayed. This is the problem with making things custom. Man, my timing is a little all over the place. Hey, nice to meet ya, Petite Junkie. I'm making some chill out music today. It's going okay.
Remember to
Everybody,
save.
remember to save. You gotta save your work. I haven't made music in a while. This February was a bit of a tough month. Oh yeah, you said this sounded good. That's better. It's just the way that I led into the note, I think. I wonder if I could get some inane ramblings going on with this one, and maybe we'll have a good song going on here. Well, this is 80 BPM, so you could probably fit like 4 of your songs into this speed. Okay, I gotta be a little bit better with how I. There we go. I wonder if I could like up the cutoff on this bass just a touch. Nah, it doesn't do it for me. There we go. That's what we should do. There we go. It's perfect. It's perfect. Just get the little. To be honest, I kind of dig that a little bit. Just not that extreme. It has kind of like a nice quality to it. So I can just turn it on at the end here. You listen to a kick 2 minutes. Yeah, I dig chill music. I like upbeat music too, but it's just like it doesn't always work for me when it comes to producing it. Why not have both? Nah, that sucks. What did I do last time? That was way better. It's all good. This is Ableton. Yeah, it's Ableton Live. I have like an OK at the start of this. Yeah, I have Ableton plugins. A lot of this is either native Ableton instruments, or I have Massive for a lot of these as well, which is I do have FL Studio. I used FL Studio quite a bit when I started producing, but it's just thank you, M. Exactly, native instruments or native Ableton instruments, which is hard enough to say. I don't know if I should be drinking tea. Caffeinating at 6 o'clock at night is probably a bad idea. What makes a producer? Asking the big questions there. Yeah, you're welcome to send me a DM on Twitch, and I will listen to it, and I'll give you feedback there. Thank you for asking and not just throwing links in chat. I really appreciate that. mean, that's kind of a, not necessarily an abrupt ending to this, but it's just kind of like a basic ending. The snare needs more crunch. Needs more crunch. Hey, Petite Junkie, thank you so much for that follow. I appreciate it. Whoops. There, where am I going with that? God, it's so touchy. I need to take piano lessons again because my fingers are out of control. Yeah. Got the message, Petite Junkie. I'll check it out when I'm done. I mean, as far as the song goes, it's not complicated. And that's okay. Like, I'm not saying that that's a detriment to... I'm not saying that's a detriment to the overall track. I think that there's a lot to be said about having a song that's simple. Ooh, that scoops up way too fast. Does this have a low cut? It does not. Okay. I'm using my headphones right now, so I think that might have been causing some low-end mud. Gabber. I was talking about Gabber earlier. Gabber, Gabber, Gabber. Haven't listened to that in a while. It's always funny. There's like this set from Beardy Mad a long time ago that he mentions Gabber. Gabber. And it's always funny. Yeah, it's hard to play piano on a 3-octave keyboard. That's a 2-octave keyboard, isn't it? 25 key. Oh yeah, it is. Listen, I'm an old soul. I know all about that stuff. I used to listen to happy hardcore once in a while when I was a kid. Don't really do that much anymore. Yeah. Yeah, it's not exactly my jam anymore, but that doesn't mean that I won't listen to and appreciate somebody else's work. I'll do my best to offer a review on it. Now make break music. Yeah, man, I've been listening to oh man, again, I got on a Beardy Man kick earlier this week, and I need to share a video with you guys. Obviously, I can't play it for copyright reasons, but every end is a beginning. This track is like bananas. Well worth listening to. I think I posted it in the Discord, but yeah, Beardy Man is incredible. Yeah. So I'm adding a ride cymbal on this because that helps give it just a little bit of a extra jangle in the top end. Nice and simple. Yeah, I'm done with this tea. I like my lips feel like they're buzzing. It's probably not a good thing if I need to go to sleep in 3 hours. Yeah. Nice chill song.
Remember to
Hey, everybody.
save.
Remember to save. Save your work. I mean, like, I know we have 20 minutes left, but what exactly am I going to do to add to this? And that's intentional. Like, I could add something in this little breakdown section here. Like, I was talking about spoken word, but I don't really know what I would say. Got a lot of buzz. I feel it's okay to not really know. I'm getting a lot of buzz because I'm using the wrong dang channel. Not adding guitar. Excuse me. Hello, everybody. This is the ASMR stream. No, it's not. And I think it's okay to not necessarily know where you're going in your life, because the goal is something that drives you forward, but it's not necessarily where you're going to end up, because things always change. So work toward the goal, but don't necessarily something. I need to figure out that last bit. I kind of lost my train of thought. You need to work towards your goal, but not necessarily expect to get there. There you go. But don't necessarily expect to get there. There we go. It's a mini infinity loop. Evening, fellows. Hello, Vincent. How are you? So I need to edit this a little bit, make sure it all fits. And then, actually, let's just bounce this down to a channel that I can properly edit it on. How you doing, Vincent? How has your past couple weeks been? And I it's okay. Yeah, okay. I kind of want to like pitch shift this just a little bit. And I think it's okay to not necessarily. It gets too granularized then.
And I think it's okay.
No. Just embrace your voice, Ben. It doesn't suck as much as you think it does. Doing kind of okay? Yeah. I hear you there. I've had a very rough month, and I'm glad to be getting back into things, and even more so, I'm glad that I was able to Chipmunk Ben, yeah. I'm glad that I'm able to like sit down and make something. And I usually have apprehension when I come into these 2-hour track challenges because I never really know how it's going to go. And I think it's okay to not necessarily know where you're going in your life because the goal is something that drives you forward, but it's not. Okay, so I need to bring this whole juicy bunch down, and I think I just need to go like this. Sitting down and making music sometimes. Yeah, and that's so I've been suffering from a lot of imposter syndrome over the past week or so. I've been working on a yeah, exactly, Vincent. Oh man, that's way better than talking about this. Honestly, I'm going to keep this because we don't throw this away, but we're gonna do this. Hello, everybody. And it's not necessarily the work that's the difficult thing. Sometimes it's more difficult to just sit down and start. And starting is probably the scariest part because everything is unknown. But once you start moving, things are moving forward. Yeah, that's dumb. But once things start moving, it's like I can't nail the dismount on all of these. Once things start moving, the path is clear. Yeah, okay. We're good. Once you start moving, the path is much clearer. There we go. That's way better. So what I need to do is I need to take this and edit it. It's not necessarily the work that's the difficult thing. Sometimes it's more difficult to just sit down and start. And starting is probably the scariest part because everything is unknown. But once you start moving, the path is much clearer. Starting is probably the scariest part because everything is unknown. But once you start moving, the path is much clearer. Okay, so I don't want to have that okay thing in there anymore because that's me talking over myself, which is kind of obnoxious. And it's not necessarily the work that's the difficult thing. Sometimes it's more difficult to just sit down and start. Starting is probably the scariest part because everything is unknown. But once you start moving, the path is much clearer. Okay, we gotta time this a little bit better, but that's much better. But once you start moving, the path is much clearer. Okay, so that's good. It's not necessarily the work that's the difficult thing. Sometimes it's more difficult to just sit down and start. And starting is probably the scariest part because everything is unknown. Because everything is unknown, which would go right here. Everything is unknown. But once you start moving, the path is much clearer. Bam! Thanks, Vincent. Yeah, and that's what I was talking about, basically, where it's just that the idea that it's so easy to never start anything because You get either anxiety when it comes to performing something, or just the idea of not being good enough or not living up to the expectations that you have in your head. And it's so easy to just kind of not do it. And then you get locked in this really vicious cycle of inaction, because it's you don't start something, and the act of not doing something kind of gets you into this mindset where it's okay to not start something, and then you just don't do anything. And I have definitely been experiencing that the past couple weeks, and that kind of goes back to the general anxiety that I've been having relating to doing today's stream. And I usually have some anxiety before I start the 2-hour track challenge, simply because I don't know what's going to happen. Like, this song could have bombed. It could have been 2 hours of me just spinning my wheels and just not getting anywhere. But I didn't. I mean, you don't know until you start, and if you don't start, you'll never know. It's kind of paradoxical in that way. But it's also something where it's just, if you sit down and you start working, like, it's out of your hands at that point. Like I mentioned at the start of the stream, I've been reading a lot lately, and one of the things that, or some of the things that I read, are that creativity is not necessarily something that you control. It's not something that you harness. Exactly, Poetic. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. The creativity, like the inspiration is not something that you actively harness. It's just something that happens. And that inspiration can come at any time, sure. And when it happens at inconvenient times, that's when you have like, oh, this is a great idea, I should go do that. And by the time you go and actually sit down and work on the thing, it's kind of, the idea has kind of tarnished in your mind. And if you're actually sitting and working, though, when that inspiration strikes, you can get the best version of that, because it doesn't have time to sit and stew in your brain. And yeah, when it comes to this kind of stuff, I feel that inspiration, and a lot of these books that I read, they talk about how inspiration, you know, I'll just play this in the background because now I'm just riffing, how inspiration is celestial, like it's the word of God and all this other stuff. And you can take or leave that. That's not on me to kind of discuss the nature of the unknown, but the idea that it comes from an otherworldly place, I completely agree with on that. Because it's not something you control. It's not something that you really have. You can't sit down and be like, I'm going to be inspired right now, and then just have like a brilliant idea. That's not how it works. It works by doing the work and just putting your ass in the chair and being a part of something, or being a part of making something. Because this song, I'll be fair, I'll be honest, I came into this stream with that kind of chord progression. That chord progression was already kind of in my mind. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's like how this turned out. Like, having 3 chords that are fairly generic doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to be like the stream and the song was like predetermined. It could have gone a lot of different ways. I have an X-Acto knife on my desk. Get out of here. But the point I was trying to make before, is that it's just like, you can be inspired whenever. That's fine and that's great. But not to be end product driven. Enjoy the process. Yeah, exactly, Vincent. Yeah, that's a very hard lesson to learn. it's not necessarily the work that's the difficult thing. Shut up, Ben, I'm talking. Sometimes it's more difficult to just sit down and start. I need to move that starting is probably the scariest part because everything is unknown. But once you start moving, the path is much clearer. Yeah. Sometimes, good point, Ben, it's more difficult to just sit down and start. Yeah, so my point is that like inspiration comes whenever. Like you are not in control of your inspiration. However, you are in control of how you interpret and output that inspiration, because really what you are when you are making things is you are a conduit to inspiration or creativity or the divine or whatever you want to call it. Like that's whatever, but you're a conduit for that. You're basically taking the visions that you see in your head or that you hear or that you the stories or whatever. You're taking that and you're trying to make it material. You're trying to make it real. Yeah, Florian, that happens a lot. And this is the shit that I love talking about. So this is like right in my wheelhouse. But yeah, like being a creative person isn't necessarily about having these huge ideas and like outputting these grandiose things. It's about being a conduit to something greater than yourself. And I think that there's a lot to be said and there's a lot to be appreciated about just being present in the process of creation. And like you said, Vincent, it's not about the product. It's not about what you're making. It's about the process of making it. An artist, and this is a personal opinion, but I've seen a lot of people agree with me on this. An artist shouldn't be about the end goal, the product, the song, the book, the novel, the painting, the whatever. They shouldn't worry about that as much as they should if they're enjoying the process, if they're sitting down and actually having fun or feeling inspired or just being immersed, steeped in the process of creation, because that's really what a creator does, what a creative person does. Hey, everybody, remember to save. And I think that that's really important because the end product, and personally, I don't know what, I'm moving my hands a lot. I love the music that I make, and that's not an ego thing. That's not anything like that. It's just, I make music that I want to listen to, and I feel that people should make art that they want to experience. I mean, that's a given. But I don't necessarily, make music for other people. I'm not making, I unfortunately don't know how to say that name, but thank you so much. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Welcome to the studio. How about we do some chill piano jams while I just talk. Angel Yang. Thank you for having that in parentheses there. But yeah, like I feel that the end product is not what you should be worried about as a creator, because you have no control over the end product. Both during the process of creation, like things happen, inspiration happens, and a product, like there have been plenty of times where I start a song and I'm expecting it to be one thing, and then it turns out to be something else. Oh yeah, it can be hard. But the idea of making music for somebody else is tough. And everybody interprets art differently, and there should be no reason why. I'm going to just turn off the timer because I don't need to see it ticking down. There's no reason why you should worry about making music or making art for other people specifically. And I've seen some people who are a little bit more harsh about it are the people who are quote unquote sellouts are the people who are trying to make music for a market instead of making music for themselves. And I don't know if I agree with that. I feel that there's definitely something to be said about making music to appeal to a certain type of person. Whoops. But I feel that it's important to embrace the process, to like really steep yourself in the process of making art and not necessarily worry about how it's going to end up. Because if you think about the way I've been talking about how creativity works, you don't really have much control over how inspiration works. And that's not a bad thing. I have a cat yowling in the background. I apologize for that. Yeah, it's like, it's all about the process. And it should be. Like, that's the other thing. Like, if you make something, you have no control over whether or not somebody else is going to like it. So why worry about that final piece? Like, make it for yourself. Make something that you would enjoy, and just don't worry about it from there. Because if you make something you like, it's guaranteed that there are many, many people out there who have the same tastes in art that you do. Ooh, that's cool. Band concert. Very tiring. Oh, yeah, they can be. I don't go to many concerts anymore. I should. But I have some social anxiety when it comes to crowds, especially throngs of people all jammed together in a small room. But I mean, that's kind of why contest. Well, that's even more anxiety inducing. Hopefully you did well. Oh, marching band. I was never in marching band. I was in band when I was in high school. I played trombone. But I never really got into marching band. Ah, nice. I tried playing flute once. I did very poorly. I have a feeling that flute is an instrument that you can't just play once and be like, nope, not for me. It's like, I think you have to learn. It's easy. It's just like blowing on a bottle, right? Let's listen to this song again. I've been talking a lot. Okay. Oh, my dad's calling. Just a second. Yeah, absolutely. I don't intend this to be a stream that you actively have to watch.
It's not necessarily
that's loud now.
the work that's the difficult thing. Sometimes it's more difficult to just sit down and start. Starting is probably the scariest part because everything is unknown. But once you start moving, the path is much clearer.
Okay, that's a little loud. I did a really simple and basic mastering job on this. It's a little loud. Take care, Madam Barry. We're gonna wrap up pretty soon anyway, but yeah. Let me see if I can find somebody to raid. do I find my followers list in this? Or following list. Yeah, I'll figure it out. It's I guess I'll just do that. That's 2 trees. That's 3 trees. We've got somebody. Let's see. Plant a tree was you, and then Poetic did one, and Foxy did one. So I got to plant 3 trees. That's $3. Let's see who's streaming right now. Shaping the Silence is streaming. I have not rated him in a long time. So yeah, thank you. Whoa. He does some pretty cool stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out and listening to me ramble on about creativity. It means a lot to me, and I'm so flippin' happy that I was able to stream and do a 2-hour track challenge and hang out with you guys and just be a part of what y'all are about. It means a lot to me. So I'm gonna get going, but again, this was really fun, and I'm looking forward to jumping back into making more creative things in the future. I should be streaming on Saturday again, and every Wednesday, like my normal schedule. I'm trying to get back into my normal schedule. That's kind of big for me. So thank you guys again so much. Thank you so much for all the follows. Thank you for the bits that M cheered early on to scare me with Soapy. And thank you so much for donating for 3 trees. I'll go put that in right now. Actually, I might do that at the end of the month. That way it just all goes in one big thing, because I know there's a lot of transaction fees and crap, and I want to minimize that for charities. So yeah, I'll write that down, and I'll make sure that I keep a running total for that. So thank you again. Have a good one. And yeah, we'll raid Shaping the Silence. If you want to stick around and say hi, he's well worth checking out. And that is it for me. So I'm going to get going. And thank you so much. Well, just hit the button while I'm still talking. I am waving, but apparently you can't see that. Streaming. I haven't done this in 2 weeks. So take care, guys. Thank you so much. And